Okay, Diptyque Laurent joins us now for our Media Watch segment. And Dipty, let's start with a comment from a French police union representative that social media says excuses racism.
Well, Luc Poignon, he's the man at the center of this controversy, Thomas. He's a police union press officer who was speaking to French media on Thursday on the alleged police brutality of that young man from the suburbs, Theo. Now, in this interview, he said bamboula, which is a word in French used to denigrate people of color, is, quote, just about okay to use. Basically, he was trying to make a comparison. This is what the police says. He was trying to make a comparison between verbal and physical assaults, but it totally backfired on him. And because people really took it to mean that he was excusing racism or legitimizing the use of this very derogatory word. In any case, he's since apologized, but it has set off a Twitter storm. And it comes at a really bad moment in France where there's already a lot of tension between the public and police. Let's show you some of those reactions. First of all, from the Interior Ministry here in France, which says we condemn those comments that attempt to legitimize a racist insult, while Christiane Taubira, who, of course, is the former French justice minister and has been the target of racist attacks herself, said, where do we stop? If we start with bamboula, then what about bugnol, which is actually a word used to denigrate people of Arab origin? She said, we need to draw limits here. This user on Twitter has managed to find somewhat of a humorous side on the humorous take, saying, even the bamboula biscuits from 20 years ago were outlawed because of its connotations. And finally, this person has taken a really nice approach, saying, these, I would prefer 1,000 times over to be in the skin of these people. These are very famous French celebrities. You see Yannick Noah, you see Omar Sy, who, of course, is a French actor who has been nominated France's most popular personality for several years in a row.
There's also lots of focus online on the origins of this word and why it's so offensive.
Well, Jeune Afrique is the magazine. They've written a really interesting article that looks at why this word is so offensive. Basically, they say it dates back to the 15th century, originating from a word which means drums in a dialect spoken in Guinea-Bissau that was then adopted in the Ivory Coast to signify a dance of female slaves. But it always had this connotation of slavery, of rape and violence, and that's really why it is such a derogatory term to use.
Okay, let's move on to Iran now, where hundreds of thousands have turned out this Friday to commemorate the 1979 Islamic Revolution, and one hashtag in particular you found is trending.
That hashtag is love beyond flags. Basically, The Guardian reports that, as you said, thousands of people have been taking to the streets to celebrate this revolution, and at those protests were a lot of down to America signs and the burning of Trump effigies. But this hashtag love beyond flags has been used to sort of deter against this flag burning. Basically, people are showing a bit of love for the American people. They're making the distinction between the U.S. administration and the American people, saying thank you to the Americans who mobilized against Donald Trump's travel ban and supported us. This picture you see here has even been retweeted by Javad Zarif, the Iranian Interior Ministry, who says, Iranians turn out in huge numbers to defy threats and insults by U.S. government, but praise American people for rejecting hashtag Muslim ban.
Okay, let's go to Europe now. And the candidate in the forthcoming German elections, Martin Schulz, is now rising in the polls. And he's also finding support from several social media users.
He's become a meme, actually. He's got his own subreddit page, Thomas, and it's being orchestrated by a group of people who say it's meant to be a satirical take on the Trump supporters who spammed Reddit during the U.S. Elections. But The Guardian does broach a very interesting subject. What is the power of a meme, and how we've seen how politically active social media can influence an election? In what way could this meme have an impact on the German elections? Now, for the moment, it seems like it's just a lot of love for him. You see him photoshopped here in a photo with Barack Obama saying the old leaders of the free world unveil a portrait of the new leader of the free world. He has not yet been elected. But let's end on this picture, which is quite nice and comes just in time for Valentine's Day. I Schulz you. That's the Schulz train, or the Schulz love train.
Diptyque Laurent, thank you very much for that spin through some of the latest online stories there that you found. Thank you very much.